Welcome back to the channel. It's another episode of Real Estate Live. It's your boy Dean, your realtor's favorite realtor, proudly serving the Hampton Roads, VA area. Back with another video. If you could, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I got another stream for y'all, and if you didn't see it live, this is the video to show you what happened. All right, y'all, so today's video is by my guy. So Dave Ramsey again. Y'all know we look at these videos and, talk about people's financial struggles to kind of help us get a little bit more financial literacy. Video is titled "My Husband Wants Alcohol in the Budget." I do not. I kind of got an idea what this is about, but then again, let's watch the video. Let's see what happened.
Brought to you by CHM, a biblically based alternative to health insurance. Learn more at chministries.org/budget.
My husband wants to have alcohol in the budget, and I don't. I'm just wondering if you can tell me where that would fit in when we're in baby step 2.
All right. Now, first and foremost, I don't judge. We all have vices, and usually a lot of those vices cost money. It could be alcohol, like this lady is saying. A lot of people spend a lot of money on drugs, pills, weed, whatever. A lot of people spend money on guns. A lot of people spend money on different things, man. Like, I'm not one to judge. I would say if I had to speak on myself as far as financial vices, there was a point in time where I couldn't spend too much money on video games. There was a point in time where I couldn't spend too much money on sneakers. There was a point in time where I couldn't spend too much money on food that I hadn't tried before that I thought looked good. So let's watch this and let's see what goes down.
Argument. You just don't want alcohol in the house.
No, I don't mind him drinking. I just personally never have and don't want to start. But I see it as a good way to cut in the budget to make extra payments onto debt. So it seems like an
Oh, because you're on baby step 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the alcohol budget he is proposing?
He hasn't proposed a budget, but from tracking our expenses, it seems to be about $35 to $40 a week.
All right, $40 a week. I'm gonna be honest, from first glance, I understand the scenario, but that's not a lot of bread to most people. Not everybody, but most people. $40. I personally spend more than that on gas every week. So I personally don't think it's the money. But I mean, I'm not saying that, but let's see how this play out. Let's see how this play out.
So to me, that's $160 a month that can go somewhere.
What's your household income?
It ranges between about $225 and $250 every year.
They got bread. All right, let's be real here. So $40 a week at $250K is not really hurting you. Hold on, let's do the math on it. Had to grab my phone real quick, just quick math. So $40 a week times 52 weeks a year, that's $2,000 a year. So that's almost 0.5% of your income a year. Now, mind you, it's not the best thing for you, but I think it's more to it than this. So let's see.
I'm going to say it again. I don't think this is about $35 a week. You make $250,000.
There go Dave.
How much debt
I
do you
think
guys
this is
have,
about
Doris?
you don't want alcohol in the house. I don't believe you.
I really don't have an issue with the alcohol. Our debt is pretty high. We have a
Hey, my boy Dave got to chill out, man. He got this lady on defensive mode early.
truck loan, a car loan, a skidoo loan. And then there's also, I guess it's called the home equity loan. But judging
How
by
much
the
is all
baby
that
steps,
total?
That would fall into. Does the home equity loan fall in with when we pay the mortgage off or with our debt?
Is it more than half your annual income? How much is it?
It's about $100,000.
Okay, it's probably going to be a baby step 6. You may need to refinance and get rid of it. I don't know how it works in Canada. What do you owe on the truck?
$39,500.
What do you owe on the Sea-Doo?
Ski-Doo. We're in Canada. That is about $13,000.
13,000. And what other consumer debt is there?
Another car.
There is a car, which is about $23,000. And he has a credit card that is solely in his name that he uses for work and stuff, and that's about $10,000. Now, I do know that would fall to us if ever it came due, which is why I count it.
Yes, it needs to go away. So I think I'm also hearing that it's not just an alcohol budget. Then
All right, so we got debt in play here. We got 2 cars. We got a boat, I believe. We got a credit card, and we got a HELOC. Out of those things, I mean, Yeah, those need to be paid down. That credit card definitely needs to be paid down immediately. We got to get rid of those. I understand her concern. I don't think it's a short-term concern in regards to essentially $40 a month. I think she more so. Some people don't. I mean, you got people who don't like debt, and then you got people who really don't like debt. And I'm getting the vibe that she's one of those people who really don't like debt. Like, for example, she's accounting for a debt that's in her husband's name, but she's attached to him that she feels that she's responsible for. So some people just really, really don't like debt, don't like owing people. And she may be one of those individuals, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. And she's seeing that $2,000 a year that could go toward paying these debts down, which is, she's very true and honest about you. And also, at the end of the day, it's alcohol. You know, I don't think alcohol is really positive in most cases at home. Like, I'm not downing people who drink alcohol for leisure, but, you know, too much consumption of alcohol can be a very bad thing. So I understand where she's coming from.
I may change my mind on this. It sounds like he's not really very engaged. He's just tolerating you doing this.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think
And
that's a
that's why
much
I'm
bigger
looking for ways
problem
to
than $35 a week.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's
Well,
driving a
something
truck he
it's
can't
hard
afford.
to
He's
do.
driving a truck he can't afford, and you got a toy in the garage you owe $12,000 on. And he's just kind of like, well, whatever you want to do, honey, it's okay. And you're like, I got to get rid of this debt. You're leaning in. And
Yeah, and in this relationship, it definitely sounds like she's the more financial, like, savvy person, and her husband might just typically just be a spender. Some people spend without really understanding how much or what they're spending. So this could be a very good case of that. I got to agree with Dave on that one.
he's kind of hanging on the outside, just watching, hoping you'll get over this fever you got.
Yes.
While he's enjoying a beer.
Yeah. Yeah. Sipping a beer on the back porch, hoping you'll get over this. Yeah. So I think all of that is much more important than $35 a week for beer. If he was completely engaged, he's like, hey, I probably need to sell this Ski-Doo. I probably need to do this. I may need to think about selling the truck, or we've got to really tighten up on everything and lean into this. Then the $35 wouldn't bother me. But I think it's symptomatic of his lack of intensity on this. Or lack of involvement with you, and I want him to support you overall a lot more than that. And maybe it's you don't want alcohol in the house. Maybe you're just trying to poke him a little bit to get him.
All right, so to all the people out there who share their finances with another individual, you gotta be mindful of that other individual when you spend the money. Now, mind you, it could be situations where you might deem it to be your money or their money, but if you are in unison in some way, shape, or form, and the responsibilities fall on both of you, you both got to be happy with what you're spending money on. Again, another unspoken truth is money has to be spent. Now, what you spend it on is very, very important. You know, I am an advocate of the truth is that, you know, you only get one life, and you should spend your money as you see fit. But always, before you swipe that card or, you know, hand that cash over, really think about all the ways that money could be used in that moment, as opposed to how you just want to spend it right now. So it's a broad picture here. I get it from both sides. She's being more cautious. He's probably just enjoying himself, but he might not be getting the enjoyment out of spending that money that he really thought he was going to get. And now he just got toys just sitting around, and you can only play with one toy at a time. You know, if you're driving a truck that you really can't afford, and you got potentially a boat that you don't use often, like, your money's not really being used to the best way possible.
Oh.
You're like a little revenge here, like, oh, you're not gonna get involved. I'm taking your beer.
Kind of like a husband be like, she can't get her hair and nails done anymore. You know, we're trying to cut that out.
Yeah, we're gonna cut out the $3 for something. No, that's not the issue. The issue is you guys need to sit down and talk about how this is stressing you out. And honey, I know it's not stressing you out. And that's why the alcohol thing comes up, because I really need you to understand and to plug in.
Now, one positive I'm going to give the husband is the fact that he's actually trying to budget for the alcohol. Like, in a way, that's a good thing. Like, he's like, I know I'm going to drink, but I'm going to put aside X amount of dollars for that only. Some people just spend it as they please. So I'll give him at least one kudos mark for that.
With me on getting these other debts paid off. And if I can get that, $35 a week won't matter.
Yeah, I would rather have you in this process, right? Like,
yeah, that's $5,000 a month is what that is. Getting him involved, and so you stop your long-term investing, you stop eating out, you stop going on vacation. You look at if you need to sell something. If you can't pay it off fast, you need to sell it. And
so it's a game I play for situations like this called Who's Got Your Money? And essentially what you do is you sit down with a piece of paper and a pencil, and you write down everything that you spent money on for the last month. And of course, you're only going to remember like half of it. Pull out your bank statement, pull out your debit card statement, and look at everybody you gave money to during that month and start to identify who's getting your money. And then you have to start identifying who do I need to cut off in order to keep my money. That could be things like Amazon. That could be things like Netflix. That could be things like, I don't know, McDonald's. Like, you got to identify who has your money and who do you need to keep your money from. And that's how you start saving money.
That kind of stuff. And you're both agreed that this is the best way for us to have a high quality future. We make too much money to be this broke. The plan we've been using sucks. We need a new plan, honey. That's what I've been trying to get you to do. And it all landed on the beer issue. And it's not really a beer issue.
Yeah.
That's okay. So it's a little different conclusion.
Yeah,
I jumped to conclusions and I was wrong at the first thing.
Yeah, and you know,
My boy Dave said he jumped. Dave, you full-fledged skydive power bomb to a conclusion right there. But it's all cool though. Dave's still that guy.
we have couples on the debt-free stage all the time. And we talk about their journey, and there's always kind of the one nerd, and they're like, she got, she was really intense, or he was, and but the idea is like there may still be one that's like super, super, super nerding out on all the numbers and so intense, and they would do nothing but literally eat rice and beans. And the other one, may not be as intense, but they're along for the journey. Like, we are locking arms and we're doing this. So just couples out there, as you're working together, you may not be at the exact same personality type and level, but you're going in the same direction, right? And in these big moves, especially selling assets like cars and all of that, you have to be on the same page with all of that, right?
Yeah.
To make those big moves. So it's hard.
Make the kind of progress that goes with that.
Yes, totally.
It's for you spouses that are out there, if you happen to be listening to this, if you're standing on the edge watching your spouse be intense on the inside, you're disrespecting them. This is someone you love, and it means a lot to them to work on this. You don't have to go as crazy as they are, but you need to get off the edge and get both feet in the boat.
Very true.
Even if you're not going to row as hard as they're rowing, you need to be on, because it's disrespectful, and that's what she's facing. So I was picking on you earlier, Doris, and I was wrong about that.
Hey, shout out to Doris, man. Doris said, you know what? Nobody listening to me. I'm gonna call the experts, man. Shout out to Doris.
Your reason for doing this, but I think your real reason is actually a better one, but I'm not going to give you a ruling on the alcohol. I'm going to give you a ruling on the husband on the fringe, and then the alcohol will solve itself.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll go from there. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. Guys, we have found we did the largest.
So, again, we had a case of somebody with a vice, man. Just need to figure out your vices. Need to figure out where your money is. Stop giving your money to all the vices, man. Like, if you got 2 vices, cut it back to 1. If you got 1 vice, cut it back to 0. I think the best advice I can give to everybody watching this video is take a vice away. Just 1, bro. If you got numerous vices, just get rid of 1 of them, man. That's the first step towards being better. And then, if you want to get rid of another one, build that up and make that leap. But other than that, y'all be easy. I'll be back. See y'all for the next video. If y'all have a video that y'all want me to react to in regards to real estate or finances, send it in. I'm all ears. Let's do it. All right, y'all. Go.